Eyewitness News investigation reveals dozens of police departments are making a conscious choice when it comes to high-speed chases, that it's better to let them go.
It also shows the overwhelming majority of departments let officers decide when to chase. This at a time when chases are happening more than ever before.
The state says pursuits in Minnesota are up more than 170% in the last 7 years. Investigative reporter Raiche has spent months analyzing police department policies.
Police say it's one of the most controversial and consequential decisions they have to make. And here's why. Since last summer, 9 innocent people have been injured or killed in the Twin Cities during high-speed chases or moments after they were called off. The headlines are relentless. Police chase after police chase, ending in death or injury.
I just kind of went into shock for a second. And
Kayla Chikalski.
Both vehicles hit me.
James Turner.
He came so fast. Boom.
And Brandon Van Holbeck, a recent organ recipient.
He was bleeding. His incision split open.
All on the wrong end of police chases in cities where officers decide when to chase and for how long. 5 Eyewitness News reviewed the pursuit policies of more than 200 agencies in the state. We found only 27 departments. This stack right here have restrictive policies on the books. It means officers, by policy, can only chase violent offenders wanted for crimes like murder, assault, or armed robbery. Could you chase someone over shoplifting?
Absolutely not.
A broken taillight?
No.
Speeding?
No.
Burnsville Police is one of those agencies.
I think really having a restrictive policy actually helps the officer because it gives them clear guidelines. They're not stuck in the middle of a very difficult decision-making process.
Chief Eric Giesecke tells his officers to ask themselves one simple question. Is the chase worth dying for? Why is the policy the way it is here in Burnsville?
We want to make sure that when we're out there, we're not putting the public in harm's way unnecessarily, if we can avoid it.
But Burnsville is in the minority. 189 departments in the state fall into this stack, leaving officers to make major decisions on when to chase. Their policies force officers to consider a laundry list of factors, like what's the offense, the weather, the traffic. Can I arrest them later? All in the middle of a very intense moment.
You know, how fair is that to the officer?
Geoffrey Alpert is a professor at the University of South Carolina. He has been studying police chases for more than 30 years. He's written books, trained officers, and has tried to change minds. We showed him our findings here in Minnesota, that just more than 10% of departments restrict when officers can chase. What's your takeaway when you hear that figure?
We're not there yet. We're still seeing the majority of departments leaving this an enormous number of decisions to officers who have to make them very quickly. We're putting officers at a disadvantage. We're forcing them to do what the chief should do, and that is make a decision.
Do you have any clue where Minnesota stacks up with the rest of the country?
I think you're the first group that's really looked at a large number of policies and determined what's restrictive and what's not. I would like to see this done in every state. I think the country needs to look at it. We need to know what our police are doing.
We started asking questions about the state patrol's policy after 3 kids were seriously injured on a Minneapolis playground last summer. A state trooper chased this SUV through residential neighborhoods, at one point topping 80 miles per hour. It started over a traffic violation, speeding.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Shortly after that wreck, a trooper was caught on dashboard camera acknowledging that he regretted the chase.
So stupid.
No.
Holding off way long ago.
It's okay.
State Patrol is now reviewing its policy, but defended giving troopers discretion when it comes to chases. Is racing 80 miles per hour through a residential area unreasonable danger?
Our pursuit policy affords troopers the discretion to make those decisions, and they're trained both on the skill in driving fast and also the decision-making required.
You're putting this guy or woman in a horrible position. You make the call. You make that tough decision.
The State Patrol tells us its review is ongoing but has no update at this time. For the agencies that ban most chases, it doesn't mean let the suspects go and forget about them. For instance, the chief in Burnsville says in most cases, officers are able to find the suspect later that day and arrest them without incident, and Jackie, without a chase.
And Ryan, from what you're seeing, why are people running from the police?
So our research really backs up common sense here. They're running for a reason. They might have drugs in their car, have an active warrant, or they're driving without a license and they don't want to go to jail. But again, the expert says officers have to ask themselves, is getting this person right now more important than the danger of a high-speed chase to all the innocent families out there on the road?
And Ryan, that gets into your previous investigation on why most chases begin in the first place. You can watch them right now.